good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday morning art talk. So today I want to discuss just a little tapping into value. Just a little bit. There was a great movie that just came out. Don't know if you guys saw it. It was called La La Land. It didn't win Best Picture, but it was. I just saw it a couple days ago and really enjoyed it. I really loved the idea of this, just the movie, just the dream aspect. It's in a way I related to it in a whole different sort of way that I would have ever, thought. At first, I never wanted to see it. Sort of like a dance movie, singing. And I thought, I'm going to go. And I went with my wife. And I really enjoyed just the theme of it. Again, it's that sort of dream, that starting and those hopes and just wanting to get someplace where you want to go and knowing that you're going to go and you're going to fail in auditions. It happens to be actors and them doing the different things, but the failure, but the repetition and the going over it and trying to just find that one time, that right person, and that's what it takes is the overall persistence of trying to get there. And I just love the story and the journey. But there was one line in there that was really, did something in a almost just like an awareness sort of way. And it was when the character, Ryan, or I don't know what his name was in the movie, but the Ryan Gosling character, he said, that's LA. He said, worship everything and value nothing. And it's like, man, is that the truth or what? In a sense, talking about Hollywood, it's just like this worship, this pedestal, just being raised above, idled, so to speak, because you're the hip thing, you're the cool thing, man, this is what's happening. And yet the reality is that there's the value, they don't value it. And I've seen that just time and time again where, and it's such a true statement that there is no, and it transitions into everything. It's like, even when I've gone to, say like the licensing expo and you go and you see this huge array of just everything. It's all artwork, right? It's all character design, licensing. It's everything that we see out there. And you see all these people walking around and they're just, even hearing conversations, and seeing how they react to things. It's just like they don't value the idea of how this even got there, how it was put on paper. People don't value just your artwork just in general. Sometimes even if you're submitting to a client, it's just like they want to get just everything, maybe just, there's this sort of hype or just, hey, let's get it now. Let's kind of do this, all this. But the reality, do they truly value your time? Do they truly value the artwork, the amount of effort that's being put into it? I mean, we see it every day, but where certain studios will just abuse artists because it's about ideally all the other people being worshipped within the system just to get the movie even made, and just like people's asses being kissed. But then the artist, the value of what they do is just really worthless. It doesn't have any meaning. And this is why you see people rise and you see people fall, because this happened to a friend of mine who worked on a feature film, a very big feature film, just with the production designer on it, and just all this, just the pats on the back, the worship, all this other stuff. But the reality, the minute that was over and that thing was gone, he was just treated like crap. It's just like we don't truly value you or who you are or what you do. It's just like we needed you, and this is the field that we're in. It's just like knowing that. I mean, that's why you can't go through this bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm not upset. This industry has been great. The reality is just knowing it, I think, more than anything, and it's just having an awareness is why I'm even sort of like just bringing this up, because it's a common thing, and I don't want you to get jaded or think that God, they're Hollywood, man, all they do is this and they don't value and that, so I'm not even going to partake. Well, partake because you're part of that system, and if you want to make a living doing this, you do it. But I just again want to just point that out and share with you just another story where this idea where of this, you're going to have working freelance, doing the different things you're going to do. You're going to have some awesome clients, and you're going to have some pain in the flipping arse clients, and that's what you're going to be dealing with. And there was a client that I just kind of want to tell you about where I should have gone with my gut, on this particular thing. And what was when I spoke to them, it's just like, again, that sort of like, hey, buddy, we're this, love your stuff, this, we're gonna work with you on things, but I got some designs to do, and it's not gonna be that much work. Here we go again, right? It's like, oh my God, I've heard this 1,000 times before. No, this is, it's just like you're taking some other style, someone else's designs, because what they need to do from this book is they need to make it three-dimensional, and they need to add this, so you don't have to change anything too much. And it's they're just trying to, the whole conversation before even discussing payment or value of it is just like, in their mind, is like, this doesn't really have that much value. It's just you fixing it. It's just you making a quick little change and doing these little things, and not thinking about the fact that, so what you're wanting me to do is sort of redevelop this brand, and so that it's going to turn into this other entity, which it's a franchise, turns into something, bigger usually. Does it always work out? No. But it was sort of like that mindset, and it's just like I kind of, in my stomach, I was feeling that, and I should have, listened to my radar, because that's honestly the best thing that we have, is when we start to truly feel that. And so knowing that, so anyway, I agreed to do it, and we started, and of course, was it that, just a quick little fix? No, it's like, hey, can you do this? And, we need to change this and change that. And it's like, now listen, I gave you a rate based on the fact that what you're telling me, and I'm trying to hook you up, because rates are negotiable. You set your rates, but they're also negotiable. You put it out there in the hopes that they're going to say, which they usually will, it's a little bit too much. Can you do it for a little less? And you decide whether it's going to be worth your time or not to make that jump. And, so I do it, and then I offer him this low, slightly low rate for what I'm doing. And then it turns into, hey, can you do this and fix this? Oh, so now you're wanting me to change all these things and add all these extra things. Before, this thing had it was just this sort of throwaway. It was this sort of idea that it was, nothing. Again, it's the perception where people don't really care about the end result of the artwork. They don't realize the amount of time that you're going to put in, the amount of effort that, I know for me, I do so many drawings before I even show the client. I'm not showing the client my first sketches. Those sketches don't say anything. They're not the right thing. So I have to go through all this effort and all this work, as much of you guys probably do too, where you're drawing tons of stuff before you actually show the actual result. But they don't think about that, and they don't consider that, and and that's where the value aspect sort of gets taken away. It's not valuing your time. So it's just one of these things. So eventually with this client, I finished this one design. I was supposed to do a bunch of them, and I told them, hey, for the next ones, I'm charging this much. And then that was it, never heard back from him. And it was an agreement that we had through this. So it wasn't like this long-term contract or anything. So it just sort of disappeared, but for the best. And you're going to have jobs that are just going to disappear, and it's going to be for the best. And you're going to be thankful that those jobs disappeared, because not every job out there is the dream job. You find that there's going to be fun projects that you're going to work on. But, you're going to get these opportunities, and they're going to come your way. And the end result is just know that there's going to be the real bad ones too. You're going to have that. But if you get that inclination, if you get that feeling that, again, becomes that worship over the value, where there's too much praising you for what you do, and you'll hear that people, they'll praise you up the yin yang and tell you how great you are and how wonderful you are and how impressed they are with your work. So being that they're just so impressed and they're so amazed by your work, because it's just great. It's just great. If we could just, do this, and, it's just gonna won't take you too much longer, won't take you too much time, but we need an animation done. It's only about 2 minutes. That's it. We only have like $500 for 2 minutes of animation, but it's only 2 minutes. Can you imagine? That happens all the time. So just be careful, be aware. No, it's not like this hidden thing. Everyone knows this. This is how Hollywood operates. There's always just the fast pace, the extreme of things. Try to get things done, get it on schedule. If we don't have it on schedule, then what? We often see people rush things so much, they want it right now, but they're not even going to make the decision until 2 days from now, 3 days from now, thereby just lessening the value in reality of your time, because your time doesn't matter so much. Their time's more important, even though their meetings are going to get pushed around and all this other stuff's going to happen again. And it's a thing that happens. It's just part of the system. But don't let it just not let you even just want to jump into it or do something. And again, it's not everyone. You got to put these disclaimers out there, right? Because everyone goes, "What, he's saying that everyone's like that?" No, not everyone's like that. There's a lot of good people out there, but there's a lot of schemers, scam artists out there too, especially when you're working with private sort of companies, smaller studios. I'm talking when you're working with some of the big boys, they got some good people that you're working with, but just keep that in mind. All right, so that's it. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Hello, this is Steven, and I just wanted to tell you about this cool thing that I'm doing right now through my website at silvertunes.com. It's a Skype mentorship. In a sense, what I want to do is just talk to you, meet you, tell me about things that are happening in your life, see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I can look over your artwork, do your portfolio, and just maybe try to push you in the right direction that you want to take your life and your journey, all right? So you can go to silvertunes.com, go to classes, click on mentorship, and you can learn all about it. We can try to arrange a time, set up a date. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. And I just wanted to make it just very affordable, just to open it up, because I love doing this. I love meeting people from all over the planet. It's a really cool thing, and with this technology, why not? So that's it. Thanks. Whoa! Hey! Go back. Go back.
Go back.
Great. Go back. Go.